All right, let's nail this one. William, in the Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard group, asks, how do I work on my self-concept? My answer was pretty quick. Ready? You don't. You don't work on your self-concept. Change who you are being in the world. I've got three main identities. Loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy dad. We first explored those in Manifesting to the Max like 6-7 years ago. We've more recently dove into them in the procrastination pack because your identity determines what kind of activity you are actually capable of. And when a lot of people think they're procrastinating, it only means that they haven't really defined their identity well. Or they're trying to define it by what feels right instead of what they desire. What people expect of me. Right? Anywho, you don't work on your self-concept. You change your concept of self. You also change your concept of others. And this is so different than what everyone else is teaching out there, because almost everybody's teaching you how to improve your self-concept, how to feel better about yourself when you have a limiting self-beliefs, whenever you have a low self-esteem. I mean, all this bullshit stuff. What hat do you want to wear? See, I've got three hats. The hat of loving husband, the hat of loving puppy dad, the hat of loving teacher. Obviously, right now, the state of loving teacher, that's the hat that I'm wearing. That's the concept of self that I have. My concept of others is they get gold from my work. My concept of others is what they are is the same as what I am. You are the wisdom, the power, the love of God. And I want you to get that. I want you to do what Neville said to do. He said you came here for a divine purpose. And that purpose is to know imagination. And you know imagination by playing. So pick three main identities. Mine are loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy dad. If you want to know why, manifestingtothemax.com. Right? We dive deep there. If you want to know my most current work on that stuff, get the procrastination pack. Because here's the thing, guys. Your concept of self. If you feel small, hopefully a good boyfriend, someone someday, that's a concept of self. You don't want to work on that. You want to lose it. It's sort of like that whole thing Neville Goddard said, the old man must die. Who you've been that you don't want to be anymore, you get to let go of. You see, Neville Goddard said to detach from the old by attaching to the new. When I was single guy and moved into happy loving husband, I met Victoria. A year and a half later, we're married. And I've moved around the world. And I know someone's going to say, but I don't have the time to wait for that. You see, your concept of self has you waiting. Some people live in the state of waiter. I wait. I hope. I fantasize. You get those are states. Those are concepts of self. You don't work on them. You abandon them. And this might be the number one thing you listen to today. And if you get gold from it, I'm going to go back and suggest again for a lot of people, manifestingmasterycourse.com. It is the 90-day adventure. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes a day total. We have never raised the price on that because it is the backbone of all we do. And we get so much feedback from people that get, if you mix this in with pop psychology, if you mix this in with new age stuff, you are changing the recipe. We keep things very simple, very pure. You'll notice the podcast episodes are short. Our show's short. We don't talk for an hour and use whiteboards. We happen to think you're something better than a good little boy that sits there like the nuns want you to. That's a concept of self. See, my concept of you is you are God having the adventure of a lifetime. At the ultimate concept of you, that just might be it. Because from what I can tell, that's what's true. Your awareness of being is God, Neville Goddard said. You are God having the adventure of a lifetime. Go forth and have adventures. And join us at manifestingmasterycourse.com. Have a lovely day. See ya.